last card you have your past is the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so just looking down here, this looks really amazing, obviously for work, which is what these two cards are, especially the first one. It can be about workplace, people getting together, and you know, you've got the Ace of Pentacles, amazing, amazing card for work, money, and just about everything in your life. It's stability, it's amazing things, opportunities, so fantastic. So just before I say anything, I could see that for your work, and you've had a lot of work in your readings lately. I think in the last few there was a lot of work there, so it's still on your mind here, obviously, or you've got work things happening. So yeah, there are actually a few little problems, I think, that might have happened in your work or around your work. I'm kind of getting work and emotion at the same time, which usually doesn't go together, but maybe this was in the past, because this is obviously in the past, or might be happening now, but that it's like a feeling triggering a feeling. So I know that sounds a bit strange. That's kind of what I'm getting. Something happened in the workplace and it triggered off some kind of feeling that you used to feel maybe years ago. So maybe, yeah, so it looks like maybe you put yourself out there. It's like you made a suggestion, or you said, okay, I think we should do this. This is a good idea, because you knew this way to do something. That's what I'm seeing, and you kind of suggested that. I think it was dismissed, or it was kind of someone didn't really take it very seriously. And so, you know, I think what happened was years ago, maybe your parents, might have been someone in authority, maybe teachers, gave you that as well. They kind of dismissed you as well. And so that's what this triggered off. And, you know, I think what happened in the past, this is what I'm getting, maybe when you were growing up, there was a kind of an apathetic feeling around you. It's a bit like, well, why do I bother? Why would I bother doing well in school? Why? Not everyone, but you know, that kind of feeling. Doesn't mean you didn't want to do well in school, but it's just that feeling. It's like, why bother trying? Why bother trying to, you know, talk to this parent or tell them what I'm achieving if they dismiss me? Why do I bother talking to this or that person? Why do I bother trying here or saying anything? Because I'm just going to be dismissed. That's the kind of feeling you used to have, I think. And it was like, well, there's no point. Very, very sad to have that happen to children. You know, it's kind of the worst way you want to be. And if that happened to you, I'm very sorry that happened to you, because it's not your fault if that's how you were. A lot of people say, well, if children are horrible, if they're kind of, I'm not saying you're horrible, but if children were kind of like, oh, I don't care, it's usually because something's happened to them to make them kind of feel like that. Either they're ignored, dismissed, and so they start to think, well, why do I bother trying? And so I think that might be what happened. Obviously not all the time, but I'm getting that kind of feeling for you. So, and I think that's how you used to react. I think when people dismissed you in the past, you reacted like that. I just couldn't be bothered. I don't care. You know, if I'm going to be thrown out of this race all the time, I'm not in it. I don't want to be in the race. So yeah, there might be a bit of potential, you know, unfulfilled potential, I should say, in your past. And so I think looking back, you kind of think, well, I could have done this, I could have done that. Because I had this feeling of, oh, why do I bother? Then that really, you know, gave me a lot of problems. And I have seen this before in your readings. It's really, really, I'm getting this very sharp deja vu here. Very similar thing I've seen before. So it's coming up again here. And I think it's coming up here now because there's lots and lots of strength around you now. Loads of strength. And you've got the strength card here as well, right next to this. So, you know, lots and lots of strength and lots of energy, lots of positivity. So I think now when someone makes you feel like that, makes you triggered, puts you back to that feeling of when you were a child, if that's you, if that resonates with you, I think what happens is now you go the opposite way. You go the opposite way. And if that's how you're feeling, if you're very, very different to how you used to be, it means that you're starting on a path to rising up. It's some kind of ascension path. So I think you've already started that, if that's you. And so now you kind of use that as a positive. It's like, well, you might not take me seriously, but I take me seriously now. I take me seriously. That's a huge shift, a huge step. And that's exactly what the Ace of Pentacles is about. It's like a shift from the Three of Pentacles, actually, where you're up there on a platform, you're trying to talk to people, which is what's happening there. And someone's being dismissed or not taken very seriously. There's a jester on that as well, which is a bit of a clown. So it's like, I don't really take them seriously. So we're going from that to the Ace of Pentacles, which is like, I was relying on all these people in the Three of Pentacles, but now with the Ace of Pentacles, I'm strong and I'm relying on myself. So I've got that now as well. So yeah, big changes. This is about a career change, but it's more than that. Again, I think you're starting on some kind of path of ascension, of going upwards at this time. I think you're probably still in this process now. So I'm kind of feeling that with you now. Yeah, it's more than a career change, because you've got this huge inner strength. And yeah, I'm seeing something that you might have tried at one time. And I think now there's a second chance at something. It's something you're doing by yourself. I'm seeing that again. And yeah, the difference this time is you've got this change in your outlook to the way you used to be and the way you feel about yourself. And that's exactly what the Ace of Pentacles is about. It's, at a superficial level, at its basic level, it's all about money coming in, opportunities coming in, opening up and all that. But to be able to manifest that, to be able to manifest anything, you have to be able to feel that inside yourself. You have to have that conviction. You have to have that change inside yourself. And that's the difference. And you've got that now, or you've started on that path now. So happy to see that huge change from way back in the past to just recently in this workplace. And now you're making this move forward. I really hope this resonates with you. It's absolutely fantastic. So the last card you have, your past, is the Knight of Cups. Okay, I'm getting a kind of delicate, fragile, a little bit sensitive person here. And maybe this person's very sensitive to what's happening around us right now. Because when people are sensitive already, or they're prone to something or feeling lots and lots of emotions, and they're pushed into a situation like this, it can really be difficult. I feel this right now. I'm okay now, but I have had lots of ups and downs because I'm quite empathic, so I feel all these things. So I'm getting the feeling that this person that's in this card is like that as well. And it's partly that, but also I think someone might be talking to this person. Maybe they're telling them things. I think this is a love connection, obviously with this cup, so this is a love connection. And so this is someone you're dealing with in love right now. So yes, someone's talking to them, I think, or they're telling them things. Yeah, not a third party. I just feel as if I have to say that, I have to make that really clear. There's lots and lots of love here. So they have lots and lots of feelings for you, even though they're going through this very kind of sensitive time, difficult time. And, if you look at this knight, obviously he's holding back, he's not going all the way up to the river. And I'll lift that up so you can see the river. You can see, so he's got the river in front of him, but he's not going up there. He's kind of stopped. He's thinking, oh, should I go forward? Should I not? What I'm getting is they love you. They absolutely love you. There's a little bit of disapproval here. I think maybe it might be coming from somewhere in their family. I think you already know this if this is you. So lots of talk, someone's talking to them, and it's this person who disapproves, I think. So I think something like that might be going on. So if they're not talking to you right now, or they're kind of holding back on talking to you, it's not because they don't love you. I'm getting that. It's really hard right now because a lot of people are separated, so you might be separated from them. There is a lot of strength around you as a couple. I feel as if I have to tell you that as well, because you're kind of getting this feeling of, well, they're really sensitive, maybe they're not talking to me right now. I feel a little bit of a holding back kind of thing there. And so if you're feeling that coming from someone, you're a very, very strong couple. And you can definitely bypass anyone who doesn't approve of you. I can see that really, really strongly. No one's going to come between you. Okay, I have to say that again. No one's going to come between you. It might be a bit hard for you to see that right now if you're in this situation, especially if you're separated from someone and if you're isolated, which a lot of people are in this situation right now. Very, very difficult time for any relationships. But you're a very strong couple. And I think, you know, they're a very delicate person. They're quite a sensitive person, but you complement them really, really well. I'm getting that as well. Very, very strong. Okay, so I have to say this about this person who disapproves. Again, I think it might be someone in their family. It doesn't look like they're going to change their mind. They're not going to change their mind. I think they're always going to have this little bit of a disapproving thing. They might warm up, you know, in the future at some time, but they're always going to have that little bit in them. Because if you look at this knight, you know, he's coming up to this river, and, you know, there's this big mountain just behind the river, and mountains don't move. Mountains don't move. So, you know, if you end up with this person in the long term, and I can see that you probably will be, because it looks very, very positive between you, even though all these things are going on right now. You know, there's always going to be a little bit of that tension with that person. They're not going to move on the way they feel. Hate to bring you that news, but that's what I'm seeing. But it doesn't really matter, because nobody can come between you. Not this horrible thing that's happening to all of us right now. Not isolation, and not this person who I think is a family member. Okay, so the first card you have your present is Strength. Fantastic card. So you've got all these amazing cards here as well. And, you know, as far as your work goes, very, very positive here once again. So it's looking like that again here. So, you know, I'm really getting this, because with the Strength card, it's like, no, I'm strong, I can do this. So it's like, yes, this time I can do this. Yeah, this time is the important thing. This time, because again, you tried to do something before, it didn't work out. And now you're trying it again. That's what I'm seeing here in this card again. And everything feels very different now. It's like you're bigger now. You're old now. You're stronger. I'm getting bigger, bolder. Because if you look at this card and you look at the landscape behind this woman and this lion, they're really, really big compared to the landscape around them. So, yeah, so you've got that. You're much bigger now. You're much different now. All this... you know, lots and lots of, what's the word? I can't think of the word. Experience. I don't know why I can't think of the word experience. Yeah, you had lots of experience behind you. Not just experience in work, but life experience since you tried to do this last time. There's a little bit of up and down emotion here that I'm getting, and probably a similar thing to what everyone's feeling really right now. We're all facing a little bit of, you know, unsteady energy. Everyone's feeling that. And, you know, you can see that in the Two of Pentacles as well. It's like, I'm up 1 minute, down the next. So that might be what you're like right now. And if that is you, if you are feeling like that, just comfort yourself as much as you can, and just do whatever you can to take care of yourself, like this woman taking care of this lion, because you deserve that. You really, really do deserve that. And, you know, sleep if you need to, meditate, eat healthy food, anything you can to take care of yourself properly. You know, you've got this amazing opportunity ahead of you. I can see that everywhere here, especially with the Ace of Pentacles. And it's your opportunity, because it feels as if you've given this to yourself. So it might be an idea that you've had, and you've said, oh, I've got this great idea. I'm going to give this to myself as a gift, and I'm going to do this. And so if you're in isolation, obviously you can't physically start whatever this is right now. So I think if you are in this isolation, if you are in quarantine, think of this as being in a cocoon. You know, it's all comfortable, it's all quiet, you're all snuggled up like in a blanket, feels like that. You know, in your space, and it's your space in this cocoon. It's your space to grow before you fly out of the cocoon and you fly away into freedom. So try seeing this as a positive time where you're growing, you're getting ready, you're preparing for what's ahead of you. That's a kind of a more positive way to see this if you're having these kinds of ups and downs. So just something to think about. I go through them as well all the time. Sometimes I'm fine, then I suddenly crash and I'm like, oh no. It's happening to all of us, really. Okay, so with the Two of Pentacles, next card's the Two of Pentacles. Okay, now with this love connection, I'm seeing a conversation here. Obviously, it's if you're in isolation, it's not going to be a face-to-face conversation. So sometimes this card can be about texting, my turn to text, your turn to text, and kind of waiting to hear back, waiting for an infinity, waiting for an eternity with this infinity symbol here. So it might be that they're taking a long time to talk to you, or you might be texting them, waiting to hear back, and you think, oh, I don't want to text again, but what are they doing? I want to hear from them. I'm getting a bit anxious. So if that's you, try and be a little bit patient with this person, because I'm just looking at the Strength card again, and that can be about, taming yourself, holding yourself back, not saying things, not just coming out and saying whatever's on your mind at the time. So I'm actually not seeing any deliberate ignoring. Yeah, this is what I'm getting. They're a little bit up and down emotionally, which is exactly what I was seeing before. And this is the Two of Pentacles. So that's what they're like. They're up and down emotionally. And again, this is someone who's quite sensitive. I've seen that before. And they might not want you to know how sensitive they are. You know that because you're very intuitive and you know them well. But I think what's happening here is maybe they're slow to contact you, or maybe they're not saying anything because they want you to think they've got everything together. Exactly like this man. He's trying to keep everything together inside this infinity symbol. He's trying to hold it together. He's trying to manage everything. So maybe when they have these kind of more down moments, when, if they're not coping or they feel like that, that might be when they're holding back. That might be when they're not communicating. Because again, they don't want you to see if they're not coping or if they're in a bit of a mess or whatever. I'm not saying they're a mess, but they're going through ups and downs. I'm really seeing that. So if that makes sense to you, that might be happening with them, just be aware of that. Just give them a little bit of space if they need. And I just feel as if I have to say this, and I'm having to say this in a lot of love situations, because a lot of people are separated. A lot of couples are separated right now. Really horrible. So, this is a problem that people in long distance relationships have all the time. Because when you can't see someone and you haven't heard from them or whatever, if you kind of text them, message them, talk to them, and you don't hear back from them, sometimes your mind starts to wander and it's like, oh, what are they doing? Are they talking to someone else? What's happening here? I've been in that situation before, and it's really, really stressful sometimes. And you've got to kind of hold your tongue and not say anything. So if that's how you're feeling, if you're separated from someone, I'm not seeing them talking to anyone else. I'm not seeing any problems. I'm seeing, again, you're very, very solid. And again, nothing's going to come between you. Not this horrible situation, no people, nothing's going to come between you. Very, very solid situation. And you've got the Ace of Pentacles, which in love can be stability as well. So you've got that right here, right next to this card. So the last card you have here present is the Star. Beautiful, beautiful card. Okay, so I'm getting this in a lot of readings. This is coming up everywhere at the moment. Dreams. I'm getting dreams here. So obviously this is going to be specific because not everyone has the same dream. But I want to talk about this because this feels like it's something quite important. And okay, before I get to this actual dream that I'm seeing, I just want to say this. I'll say it quickly so the images don't go out of my head. But a lot of people are having lots and lots of dreams, and really vivid dreams actually right now, because people's minds are a lot more quiet. It's still, their minds are still more than they usually are. Usually we fill our minds with everything all the time, lots and lots of work, we fill it with all sorts of things. At the moment, people's minds aren't as full, and so all these dreams and things and vivid things start coming in. When we go to sleep, the subconscious mind starts to review all these images and they all come out. So that's what I'm seeing happening here with a lot of people. But I think with you, it feels a little bit more, not serious, what can I say? A little bit more profound, probably, than just having dreams. Because I was getting this in the Ace of Pentacles. You're starting some kind of ascension process, and I think that might be what this dream's about. Because what I'm getting is, with a dream, is it's an image of, okay, I'm getting lots and lots of water. It's almost like it's surrounded by water, lots of floating. I'm getting this really floating feeling. It's definitely water, but it feels like underwater because there's blue everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's blue. Up, down, everywhere. So it's not like you're floating on the water. It's kind of like you're underwater. Kind of submerging yourself in the water. And that actually makes me think of rebirth. It makes me think of, baptism, which can be a symbol of rebirth for Christians. So I'm not saying you're going to be baptized, but it's that thing that you're going through, and your subconscious is telling you that that's what you're going to be going through if you haven't started that already, and I think you have, with all this water. So what it means is, if that's what you're going through, big changes, big life-changing things, they're going to come up for you. All these big changes are going to happen. That's what rebirth is, coming out as a different person.